What's up, y'all? This is MGoVA bringing you another episode of my Southampton Manager Mode, otherwise known as Return to Glory. And thank you for everyone who left a comment last episode for goal of the episode. It was Billy Sharp's goal off that long throw-in from Fraser Richardson. It was a pretty nice goal. But moving on to the first game of this episode, we are playing a strong Burnley side. A lot of their players used to play in the Premier League, so they have a lot of quality in their team. Like Carlton Cole, I think, used to play for West Ham. And some of our midfielders used to play in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken. And that guy, Me, is a pretty decent young right back. But moving on to our first chance of the game, De Ridder is not quite able to get his head on the end of that cross from, I think it was Iago Falque playing left wing for us today. And he's just abusing this guy on the right side. This guy on the right side is probably going to get yelled at by his coach at halftime because he was just getting ran all over. And that chance right there, it could have easily gone in, but not quite able to get enough power on it as it's raining. So, you know, the puddles just kind of slow down the ball a little bit. Pretty frustrating, but it's whatever. And look at that defending by Me, but they're able to sweat the ball back outside. And after those few chances that we had, Carlton Cole's able to get his head on the end of that ball into the back of the net to make the score 1-0 right before halftime, which is so frustrating. It's never good to have a goal scored on you right before halftime because nothing ever good comes of it. It's just a bad thing mentally to have happen to you. But moving on, we made a few substitutions, brought on Puncheon and I think Tadenari Lee. We'll see if those two players are able to make a difference moving forward in this match. And Jason Puncheon, right when he comes on, could have easily had a goal. But it's a nice save from the keeper. It didn't really look like it was saved on the first time I shot it when I was actually playing this game, but it was. And Iago Falque, how do you not finish that? Like, really, how do you not finish that? But we continue to pepper their goal, and we're only going to score a goal if we keep shooting like we have been. And we hit the post! Are you kidding me? So many chances. That's like 3 or 4 chances within the last 5 minutes of the game. But Tadenari Lee cuts inside, and he finally is able to score in the 71st minute. But would we be able to score another one to take the victory, or will we walk out of here with the 1-1 draw? I'm hoping that we'll get the victory against a strong Burnley side. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. A nice little defensive play from Wevo, pretty much stopping a sure goal because that would have been one-on-one with the keeper, unless our keeper just made an amazing save. But look at this play from Morgan Schneiderlin. That is not even his game. He is not the best of finishers, but he's able to finish that one. A clutch goal, giving us the 2-1 lead and the 2-1 victory at the end of the game. We snatched all 3 points from Burnley. They're probably frustrated about that. They felt like they could have easily gotten at least a point. But we walked out of there with all the points. What you gonna do, Burnley? But we're sitting comfortably in 8th place with 8 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses going into this game against Nottingham. And starting off the game, look at that goal from Adam Lallana. That's in the first 15 minutes, people. Let's take another look at this goal. That was probably one of the best goals of the season so far. Either that or maybe some of my free kicks. But look at this goal again. He dribbles inside. He dribbles inside. Boom! Finesses it into the bottom right corner. A really, really nice goal. It felt great when I scored that. Moving on into more chances. Because Nottingham, in this game, excuse me, I had like burp for a minute, but in this game, Nottingham Forest was just getting dominated. I'm just going to be honest with you. Nottingham Forest did not have any real chances, and the weird part about it is that Nottingham's one of the better teams in the championship. I mean, look at all these chances I had. Maybe if I sweated that across, I could have scored easily, but Nottingham was just getting trashed. I don't know what it was. I think they might have been sitting back too much a little bit because they were afraid of my attacking prowess. But look at this goal by Billy Sharp. First time volley. He doesn't even take a touch. Actually, it's a half volley because it bounced a lot. But still, it was a first time shot on the half volley, taking our lead up to 2-0 going into halftime. And in the second half, we would continue to pepper Nottingham's goal with all these chances. Look at all these. That's not even peppering the goal. That's just putting them in the back of the net right there for Iago Falque with the nice right-footed finish. He's not even right-footed. And the bad thing about Iago Falque is that he's so good, but I have him on loan, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy him, transfer him from his team, which is Tottenham, moving into the next season because he's so expensive and young, and I don't know, we might have to fill a void when he leaves the club, but I'll think about that when the time comes. I don't want to think about that right now because he's so good, and I really don't want to lose him. He's probably one of my best playmakers on my team, so I don't know what's going to happen when he leaves. We'll see what happens, but Look at that ball from Ted and Ari Lee, the two substitutes linking up right there. And Christig is not the best finisher, not able to get that one in the back of the net. But it doesn't even matter because at the full-time whistle, we would have a 3-0 victory over Nottingham Forest. And look at that, 3-0. That's probably the biggest victory we've had so far in this manager mode. It felt really great. And we will see what happens after this game. It's just good news after good news. I got my reputation enhanced because of all these great performances I've been having. It's only half a star, but it's still something. Ted and Ari Lee's happy because he's been getting his playing time. He was asking for playing time earlier in the week, and he got it. And he's happy. He's happy. I'm a good manager. I see myself. And if that wasn't enough good news, Jack Cork has returned from injury finally. Finally, he's been injured since I think the first week of the maybe the preseason or the season. I don't remember, but this is the only bad news really. Looking at the games we have coming up in November, we have 4 games in 2 weeks, and then look at December. At the end of December, we have 3 games in 1 week, and there's not even any cup games. So after all that good news, there's a little bit of bad news. But the good news is we are now in a promotion playoff spot for sure, in 5th place. I think we are 12 games into the season, 13 games into the season, so we will continue to climb that table and hopefully get 1st or 2nd place so we can get an automatic promotion. Because if y'all don't know, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th play in a playoff, and I really don't want to have to play in that. But just look at this defending by Crystal Palace in this 3rd game of the episode. Crystal Palace did absolutely nothing this game but sit back and let me attack them. I don't know if they talked to the Nottingham Forest coach and they just heard that I was just an amazing attacking team, and they just figured why not just sit back on defense and score on the counter, because that's all really they could do with their speed up top and big defenders. But I don't know what happened, but they were just defending for their lives. And I had so many chances. But I mean, look, there's 6 players in the box right there. There's really nothing I could do. And at halftime, I decided to make a change. I brought on Ted and Ari Lee and Jason Puncheon. Let's see if they're able to make the difference and score the goal, because to be honest, I didn't really see it happening. I don't see it happening. I just don't see how anybody's going to be able to score when they're sitting back with like 9 players behind the ball. And I only have 5 players up top, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not going to push up any more than 5 players because I don't want them scoring on the counter. But Christig right here gets a nice chance, steals it from the center back, and that easily could have been a penalty, but it wasn't called. Kind of a dive. Actually, I'm going to be honest, it was a dive, but it wasn't called as a penalty regardless. And look at this chance off the corner. He just watches it onto his foot. Jack Cork on his weaker foot actually, but is not quite able to get it into the back of the net. And this is one of our last chances of the game. Puncheon crossed it into Ted and Ari Lee, and he scores it. And he is a super sub officially. He scored 3 or 4 goals off the bench. He's probably going to get a little more starting playing time after these performances in this episode. Just an excellent, excellent goal right there. And he has definitely been the player of this episode so far. And that goal will actually give us the 1-0 victory over Crystal Palace. That's all we needed. They couldn't do anything about our attacking prowess. They could only sit back for so long and take on all that pressure. But after that victory, looking at the table, we are sitting comfortably in 5th place on 10 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, with our 13 goal differential, playing well. And also be sure to vote for goal of the episode. And thanks for watching, y'all. Stay lavish. I'm out of here, y'all. Deuces.